Sustainability and renewable energy sources are recurrent topics of the 21st century. In Brazil, the renewable energy in urban and rural areas are no longer considered uncommon. Many are already generating their own energy, driven by sustainability, but also by the reduction of the spending on energy bills. Hello, my name is Nathana, and today we will discuss the actions to achieve the energy indicator. We will show you how producers are controlling energy, what they are doing to save energy, the use of alternative energy on farms, and the benefits this replacement brings to producers and the environment. The Brazilian electric sector is still highly dependent on hydroelectric power, and although this type of energy is considered a renewable energy source, the social and environmental impacts shouldn't be ignored. When considering the social impact, remember that this type of energy is associated with the flooding of large areas. The social impacts involve both the populations living on the banks of the rivers, who needed to be displaced, and those who stay nearby non-flooded regions. As for the environmental impacts, alterations in the microclimate around the dams are relevant, such as destruction of natural vegetation, loss of native aquatic and terrestrial flora and fauna, removal of riparian forests, increasing water pollution due to the construction of the power plants, among others. Moreover, hydroelectric energy accounts for almost 60% of country's electricity matrix. This brings problems in periods of drought, when the low production of the hydroelectric plants needs to be compensated by thermoelectric plants, which are more expensive and polluting. The extra cost of these thermal plants is passed on to consumers and producers as well, through tariffs applied to electricity bills. Now, if you apply to this problem to the coffee farming, during the harvest season, which coincides with the dry season, energy consumption tends to be much higher due to the post-harvest process. As a result, there is a search for more economical and consequently more sustainable alternatives. As energy is a cost that is directly associated with coffee production, cost control is an important action among producers. It's important to note increase, both internal with expenses such as televisions, computer, as well as expenses related to the machinery and resulting from increases in employees during the harvest and post-harvest period. Producers already seek to have greater control over energy expenses on their properties, always aiming to save money in a way that is also good for the environment. They always try to keep the machinery in good condition and clean in order to reduce spending on energy as well. In some cases, when feasible, producers seek to replace their old machinery with new ones, since with the technological advance, new machinery consumes less energy. Another practice that is also considered sustainable is the use of fuel obtained from renewable sources to dry coffee beans. There are two kinds of fuel: fossil fuels and biomass fuels. To say it another way, fuels from non-renewable and renewable sources, respectively. Thus, to be sustainable, many producers use the leftovers from drastic pruning of the coffee plants or crop renovation as biomass to fuel the drying process. They also offer guidance to employees to reduce energy costs and tries to adjust working hours to enjoy the light of the day. After all, the property is an open-air company, right? However, another idea that is growing in farmers is the use of alternative energy such as biomass, wind, and solar. Solar energy is one of the most promising energy alternatives for the future and very important for preserving the environment. Since river retention, deforestation, and accidents with dams are not consequences of this type of energy. In this way, it's considered a great point of reference for your words and can boost the sector's image. The generation of solar energy has greatly helped the operations and the economy in the field. Besides reducing the energy bill, a solar energy system can still be used for several operations, such as irrigation, thus increasing the productivity of the plantations. Many producers are already investing in solar energy, and although the implementation of this system requires a considerable initial investment, in the long term it brings a lot of savings for the property. In addition, it's possible to find government incentives and several credit lines available to boost the use of solar energy in Brazil and encourage producers across the country. The average payback of this investment is between 3 to 5 years. This is, the investment is compensated after this period through the reduction in the values of the tariffs on the producers. Knowing that the useful life of a photovoltaic system is 25 years, its return on investment can be paid in up to 5 years. It seems a good investment. It's also worth mentioning that the surplus energy produced can be sold to the energy company in order to amortize the energy consumed on the property. Solar is the most competitive renewable source in Brazil and can boost economic, social, and environmental development, with the generation of jobs and income, attraction of investments, diversification of electric matrix, and systematic benefits for all Brazilian consumers. Thus, it becomes extremely important to encourage the use of this type of energy, which can bring countless benefits and generates a win-win situation for everyone. As energy demands increase, it's more important than ever to rely on renewable sources of power. The sun is important to life on the planet. For example, not just for plants, but for people and animals too. As long as it shines on us, we can depend on its light to illuminate our lives. Thank you for joining me today. If you enjoyed today's discussion of energy and you want to learn more about what producers in Brazil are doing to protect and preserve the environment, then be sure to click like and subscribe, so we will be notified when we post new content. You can also listen to the reaction podcast for today's video on the link in the description to get another perspective on the topic.